There were two visions of the British imperial constitution, the unwritten constitution of the time. From the very beginning, the Americans viewed themselves as in but not of the empire. That is, they thought that they were subject to the king, and that but as an executive, but as far as lawmaking was concerned, that went on in their own colonial legislatures. So in fact, it's exactly the way that the British Commonwealth operates today. It did not operate that way at that time, at least according to their opponents, and those opponents believed in a theory called parliamentary supremacy, which was the idea that Parliament's authority was supreme, absolute, irresistible power to do everything that is not naturally impossible. That's a quote from William Blackstone. If any of you out there are lawyers, you know you're taught in law school that William Blackstone is where it's at when it comes to originalism. If you want to know what the founding fathers thought, you read William Blackstone. No! Blackstone was a villain. Blackstone was a bad guy. Blackstone was on the other side. The American Revolution was fought to refute William Blackstone. The idea that Parliament had supreme absolute power over the entire empire so that everything was subordinate to it, that came from this idea that since Parliament had created the modern monarchy, it could therefore control absolutely everything. The Americans rejected that. They, almost to a man, believed in a different conception of the British Constitution, the idea of prescriptive right, is the term that historians have used for it. And that is the idea that the British Constitution is understood by reference to traditions, habits, long-standing practices, written documents such as Magna Carta, legal precedents, and things like that, and that those can limit Parliament's authority. So those are two irreconcilable views of the British Constitution, right? On one hand, Parliament has supreme power so that Parliament can even overturn the Constitution itself. That's what Blackstone says. The Parliament is the Constitution of Great Britain, according to Blackstone. And that was not what the colonists thought. They thought the Parliament was the legislature of Great Britain, just as the Virginia House of Burgesses is the legislature of Virginia. And that began the legal argument. That starts in the 1760s or so. By that time, the Americans already believed in John Locke, natural rights, natural law. They already believed in all that stuff. And they liked the British Constitution because they thought that it was compatible with those principles. It was only after more than a decade of disputes with Parliament and Parliament refusing to listen to the Americans that finally the Americans gave up and said, all right, fine, we are no longer Englishmen, we are no longer British, now our rights are the natural rights of mankind, and we will cease to appeal to the British Constitution or the English common law as the basis for our rights.